So one of the experiences I had after my mom passed was I missed her, and I knew that she was still in existence, right? Even though I couldn't see her body, but I missed getting a hug from her. And so one night we figured out, I asked for a hug, and I could feel all of a sudden I just felt the outer layer of my skin tingle in a different way than it's ever tingled.
Wow.
So when I want to connect with her, and I'm clairaudient, so I actually can feel like I have a conversation with her in my head, but I can ask for that physical, and I get that. And it's, I'm curious about your experiences with things like that and the people you've met and kind of what your sense is of some of this.
Well, I think after-death communications are the most prominent way that most people in our modern world have been convinced of the reality of the spiritual world. After-death communications can be incredibly powerful. And I've had so many people come up to me after I've given a talk on my experience and share their own experience, often of an after-death communication. I mean, many of them are near-death experiences. Many of them are shared death. But to me, the after-death communications are really probably the most prominent. And in fact, I've had many a person tell me that the greatest gift they got from their loved one who had departed the physical plane was an absolute assurance in some form of communication, either around the time of passing or later, that convinced them beyond any doubt that loved soul was still very present and available to them. And I've had my own experiences like that. Of course, Proof of Heaven is built on that beautiful experience with my birth sister, who I'd never known in this life. I was adopted, so I didn't know her, but she was right there front and center as I tell the story in Proof of Heaven. And, so to me, it's all absolutely real. I don't know if you're familiar, there's a recent contest that was carried out by the Bigelow Institute, Robert Bigelow in Las Vegas. I highly encourage you to check out the winning 29 essays. They're published all for free right there online at bigelowinstitute.org.
Okay.
And if you just read the first place paper by Jeff Mishlove, it'll give you a big old start on this. But a lot of those papers refer to after-death communications as a crucial kind of piece of evidence. But that Bigelow Institute, once those papers get out to this world, not a soul on earth who is intelligent, paying attention, and all open-minded will doubt the reality not only of the afterlife, but of reincarnation. It's an absolute fact of life. It's been demonstrated beyond any reasonable doubt. The scientific evidence is overwhelming. So just go to bigelowinstitute.org, check out Jeffrey Mishlove's paper, and then start reading the others too.
Okay.
The third one's very good. The second one's excellent, but it's highly technical and medical. It's by a friend of mine, Pim van Lommel, who's a Dutch cardiologist. But they're really all extremely good. And share those papers far and wide with everybody. I don't know why Bigelow hadn't done a bigger job of media splash, because this contest ended November 1st. And that's when they announced all their winners. And so far, there was a fair amount of media splash back in January when the contest was announced. Like New York Times had an article and a bunch of other places. But so far, I've seen almost nothing of major media about the results. And the results are absolutely mind-blowing. Nobody. This is horrible news for materialists and skeptics and militant atheists, because you read these papers and you go, all right, well, either I profess ignorance and continue to pretend I don't know all this, or I'm just stupid. Or they come around and say, well, gosh, it's obvious. It's absolutely obvious.
Yeah.
So anyway, Bigelow is a game changer.
What's interesting about that is I connected with this group.